Hey guys, Hone Houdini Ty here, helping you escape your 9 to 5. In today's video, it is all about why I fry people up. And now, for those who don't know me, I fry people up. What does that mean? It means that if people are spouting out the wrong things, I really let them know that, hey, you have no business spouting that out, that you don't really know what you're talking about. And I really do it to the people who have this kind of ego, this ego that they carry with them, this ego where they just say stuff as if they know without the intention of actually learning. They just say it, right? They just say it. Noel says, it seems like you drive faster in these videos. Yeah, I'm actually just cruise control. But anyway, I fry people up, right? I fry them up when they say things without the full detail. And I do this because they carry around this ego that needs to be chopped down a little bit, because that partial information that they have where they think that they know what it is that they're talking about, and then they're actually spreading it to others, that makes me so furious. That makes me furious. I can't stand when people say a whole bunch of stuff that they know nothing of, especially when it comes to real estate investing. They have all these thoughts of what real estate investing is, and then they share it with others, and then that gets people in hot water. And when the people get hot water because of the misinformation they give, that you've been giving people, it fries me up inside, so I fry you up on the spot, right? So I fry people up because I want people to be knowledgeable so that they can actually be successful in this life. This life is hard enough trying to make buck, right? People are trying to make it out here. They're trying to get by. They're trying to feed their kids and pay their rent and do all of that stuff that normal people do. It's hard to make these ends meet, let alone try to make the ends meet with misinformation. So I fry people up when they don't know stuff. And partially it's because my success hinged upon me knowing what it is that I know. Way back when, a few years ago, I was trying to do a deal. And I didn't have the money for the deal. And I didn't know what I knew now. So, I knew a little bit, so I was able to pivot it. Now, this person wanted to sell a property. Let's say that they were trying to sell the property for $70,000. I didn't have the $70,000, not at all. So I said, you know what? I can wholesale this deal. I can get this deal under contract, and I can turn around and I can sell it with a finder's fee, right? So I negotiated the deal from 70 to 60, and then I turned around and I sold the deal for 65, right? So I made $5,000 by simply selling the deal. Sounds like a good thing. Well, the person that I sold it to, they didn't have any money either. Well, let me take that back. They had a little bit of money. They had about $10,000. There was a mortgage on the property for $55,000. So they had to bring the $10,000 to cover the difference, right? So the person only needed to come up with $10,000 if they took over the property subject to. Here's the problem. I didn't know what subject to was. Right? I didn't know what subject to was at the time. I knew what wholesaling was. I got it under contract, and then I wholesaled a subject to deal to the next person. I could have done that, but because I didn't know about the subject to, I didn't do it. And what's funny is that person walked me through doing that subject to deal. Got the attorney. I was handling the attorney, the paperwork, everything, right? And that person ended up with the deal. When the person bought the deal, they bought it for 65. The day they bought it, it was worth 90. Right? The same day, I made $5,000, and then they walked away with $25,000 in equity. If I had known better, I would have made more. right? I would have had $30,000 in equity, but because I didn't know, I couldn't do it. And so that is why I am such a stickler that everybody who watches my stuff, everybody who joins the school, that they know what they're talking about, because it is the difference, right? I don't want to say it's the difference between life and death, but it kind of is, because the money that you make will help determine the quality of your life. Say it again. The money that you make determines the quality of your life. If you're not making a lot of money, if you're not making ends meet, the quality of your life is hampered. And when you have this hampered lifestyle, your relationships also get hampered. That's why the number one leading cause of divorce are finances. If you had your finances all together, maybe your marriage would have survived. And if your marriage would have survived, then your kids would have had a better household. But because you guys separated because of the poor finances, right? Because you guys separated, and now your kids are not having the quality of life that you would have provided to them if you stayed with your spouse. So to say that learning these real estate strategies is a matter of life and death is a stretch, I would say. Yes, totally a stretch. But if you had your finances in order, then there's a possibility that it improves the quality of your life, because now your bills are paid and your finances are in order. So there's less stress on that part of your life. And so if there's less stress on that part of your life, then maybe you could make your marriage work. And when you make the marriage work, and if you have kids, now the kids are growing up with both parents. Now, I'm not saying that if the kids have both parents that they're going to be guaranteed successful. I'm not saying that if you had all the money in the world that your marriage would last. And I'm not saying that if your kids are in a family where the parents are divorced that they're doomed. I'm not saying any of those things. But I am saying that the money you make dramatically affects the quality of your life. It does matter. So let's not play like money doesn't matter. So I fry people up because it is so important that they get it. That they get it the right way. That they learn the strategies the right way with all of the detail. And when they learn it with all of the detail, then they can do it successfully. But when somebody goes out there with half knowledge, right, half correct, half incorrect, and they go around spewing these lies, that may really hurt somebody. Somebody might listen to you, take that information, right, go out there, try it, because they hear my message of escaping their 9 to 5. It sinks in that yes, they need to invest, they need to do deals. They'll take your misinformation, go out there and try it, and then lose. And when they lose, they're in a much worse position than if they had not tried anything at all. So again, this is why I fry people up. You need to learn the strategies correctly with a lot of detail. YouTube will give you surface level information. Bigger Pockets will give you surface level information. Books and CDs and stuff, they'll give you surface level information. Where you get the real learning is when you learn it from multiple avenues and then get with a mastermind, discuss it, and then have mentors that show you the right way. When you combine all of these different things, then you learn it the right way. There are too many people who graduate from YouTube University and they think they know everything already. And then they go out there and they get really hurt. Or they learn it from YouTube University and then they teach others. And then the others get hurt. Do yourself a favor. It's important that you figure out your money. It's important that you make your ends meet. Money is not everything. Money can't buy happiness, right? Money can't do any of that kind of stuff, but money buys everything else. It pays for your bills, for your household. It pays for your kids' schooling and their supplies. It pays for the vacation that you all go on, right? It pays for all of those things. And the thing that makes you happy is that security, that your family and yourself, that everybody's okay, and that all ends will be met, and that the stress levels will be low. We want to live our best life ever. Well, it starts with you knowing what to do so that you can make ends meet without stressing out and without giving up all of your time, right? You have this wonderful family that you're providing for, and it's a very honorable thing to go to work for them so that you can provide and pay bills and all that. It's very honorable, yes, but don't do it to a fault. Don't be so honorable that you spend all your time at work and then you never spend any time with your family. Because it's not the money that they want, it's you that they want. And I'm happy that you're willing to go out there to provide for them. But don't throw it back at their face when you're not around and say it's because of you. It's because of you why I work so hard. Don't throw it at them. Don't use it as a weapon. I say learn what you need to do so that you can make more money with less time. And so if you figure out how to make more money with less time, then you get to see them, and you will never have to use those words against them, that I work so hard for you. You never should have to use it as a weapon. You should say, I work the way I work to provide for you, and I'm happy for that. So hopefully these messages are hitting home. I have no idea where I came up with this today, right? I'm actually here. Everybody has a day off. Today's Labor Day. If you're watching this, if you're watching a recording, it won't be Labor Day, but today's Labor Day. And I was just thinking, like, people have off today. They're spending time with their families. They're barbecuing. They're doing all that they're supposed to be doing, right? They're spending time with each other. But it's important that people learn how to make things work, make the ends meet, but not in a way that's a detriment to the family, right? So there's many ways to make money. There are a lot of people who don't fit in a 9-to-5 box. I did not fit in a 9-to-5 box. I went to school. I even got my master's degree. And every time I shoved my body into a 9-to-5 box, it didn't work. It didn't work. I tried it over and over, and I felt like there was something wrong with me, right? Everybody made me feel like there was something wrong with me, that I didn't fit in their mold. When in actuality, my value is best delivered in a vehicle that's not a 9-to-5 box, right? Some of you are valuable beyond compare, yet you keep trying to deliver your value in the vehicle they said was the best way to deliver your value. And that angers me, because I had to deal with the stress of going through that, of trying to make ends meet inside of a vehicle that doesn't work for my personality, for my strong suits, right? Why do I need to work within the confines of this 9-to-5 when really I can deliver 10 times more value by doing things my way? So then I became an entrepreneur, and I got to deliver the value the way I knew how to. And so thousands of people have now been touched and their lives improved upon because of the things that I've delivered. But I was made so wrong by all of society, right? I was just made wrong for thinking that I was special, that I should do things in a different way, right? They kept making me wrong for it. Oh, keep dreaming. be more realistic. Be more realistic. Look, I'm outside of the box now, right? I'm outside of the box now doing what it is that I want to do in the way that I want to do it, with who I want to do it with. And I am delivering a lot of value to their life. And just because you were made to fit in that box, it doesn't mean that I'm made to fit in that box. And it doesn't make it unrealistic for me to be outside of that box doing it this way. There are people who are doing YouTube videos like this, right? There are people who are doing videos like this, making millions of dollars. And I'm being unrealistic, thinking that I should be an entrepreneur? Well, think about it. And I say it all the time. You secure employees with your jobs. Guess who made that job for you, right? Who was the person who was able to give you the opportunity that you have to have a job? It was that unrealistic, risky entrepreneur. And a lot of people don't like me saying that because it's the truth. They're like, oh, well, whatever. It's good for them. Not for me. Okay? That might be true. But don't take away the opportunity for other people. Don't make them feel bad for it. It's hard enough doing it within the real world. It's hard enough creating a business in the real world. I don't need your verbal, I don't need your verbal abuse. I don't need your unsupportive attitude to tell me about how it's unrealistic and how difficult it will be. Yes, it will be difficult, but you just make it more difficult. So stop that and stop doing that to other people who are out there trying to accomplish their goals and their dreams. Just because you were paid by the hour to forget your dreams doesn't mean you should make other people forget their dreams. It's a harsh reality. It's a harsh reality that you get paid by the hour to forget your dreams. It's a harsh reality that whatever you're creating right now will have no legacy. That as soon as you retire from your job, your kids are going to have to start all over from scratch. It's a harsh reality. And I'm just the man to say it. You know why? Because of all the things you said to me. So yeah, entrepreneurship is hard. But you know what? It's worth it. And for all those out there who want to do it, I say do it. And I'm here to tell you it's okay. Because there was no one out there to tell me it was okay. So it's okay. It's okay. But make sure you learn the stuff that you need to learn the right way. So that you're not out there making mistakes. Because again, it's hard enough. You make a mistake, you get set back. And then you got to make up for all that lost ground. But it doesn't mean your life's over. It just means you got to try again. Just means you got to try again. So make sure that you learn the strategies and the information correctly and at full detail. Learn everything that you need to learn to the granular detail. Don't just learn it at the surface. Learn it the way that you need to learn it, step by step from A to Z, so that you can actually make money from it. Right? Because the longer you stay unemployed, the more jobs you make for all the other people who are too fearful to go out and do it themselves. You, entrepreneurs, the ones that I'm talking to right now, it's you guys who change the world. It's you guys who add value in ways that people can't even think of. We didn't have cell phones until someone created the idea of a cell phone. We didn't have electricity until somebody thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool to have electricity running through so we can have lights instead of candles, right? There's all of these ideas that were just like, stop being so unrealistic. What do you mean switch a thing? Switch a switch and then turn on the lights. That's crazy. Well, yes, until somebody does it. It's crazy to not ride a horse to wherever we're trying to go. But here we are, driving cars, taking it for granted. Taking it for granted that somebody was crazy enough to go after it. Somebody was crazy enough to try it so that we all could benefit from their invention and have a better life, right? Everything's crazy until somebody does it. And now you still may call them crazy, but they did it. Or maybe they're not crazy and it's just that you're too small in your thinking. Go out there and be great. Don't let anybody take that away from you. And if people are naysayers, and if people are telling you that you should be more realistic, come talk to me, right? Let me give you that boost you need, because society's not going to. It's a harsh reality. They only tell you to forget your dreams because they forgot theirs. Don't try to fit yourself in a box when you're not supposed to be in that box. It's never going to feel good. No matter how many years you spend there, it's actually going to feel worse. So if you're like, oh, I'm just going to be here for another 30 more years, well, it's going to be terrible for 30 years. Oh, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. You know what those are? Those are softening words. Those are softening words so that you can get by the hell that you've created for yourself. It's to get through the difficult days and going to bed knowing that it doesn't get any better. So then you just tell yourself, well, it's not so bad. Those words trick you. Those words trick you. If you want something different, then you got to make it painful. Not so bad has no motivation behind it. Not so bad has no energy behind it. You got to make it so that you create that hate inside, or that passion inside, to drive you to make moves. Because you sitting there all alone by yourself, that boulder is too heavy to push, right? You need to muster up the energy from a deep place that's very painful, where you can generate a lot of passion, right? They say a woman can lift up a car that has fallen on her child. Where in the world did she get that kind of energy? Where in the world did she get that kind of energy? Well, it's inside all of us. We all have that energy. We just need to spark it, right? We just need something to get us to harness that energy. And you're not going to harness that energy saying things like, it's not so bad. You're not going to find that energy and that passion to get through the hardships of being an entrepreneur. Yeah, it's not easy, but none of this is, right? For all you parents out there, I bet that's not easy either, but you all do it. And even though it's hard, you chose to do it again, some of you, right? Some of you chose to do it 4 times. 4 kids under 5 years old. Oh, talk about not easy. At least I get to go to bed and sleep through the night. You parents, I don't know how you do it, but you do it, right? You out there, you guys have this power within you, right? You just need to learn how to harness it. Again, that woman where the car falls on her child and she lifts the car. How is that possible? Because we have the energy within us. We just need something that is worth that energy, that passion. We just need something that's worth the energy. Right now, when you say words that it's not so bad, oh, be more realistic, oh, you should be grateful that you have a job, and yada yada yada, that creates nothing. It doesn't create what it is that you need in order to do all of this, right? So, don't let others squash your dreams because they sold their dreams for $15 an hour. Now, for those who are out there working by the hour, that's fine. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. But if you know that you don't fit in that box, change that box. And if you're out here saying things to entrepreneurs, that makes it even harder for them, I'm going to fry you up too. Okay? I didn't have people rooting me on when I wanted to build my business. Everybody said, stick to your job. Problem is, the job didn't stick to me. I didn't fit in the culture. I didn't. But now I'm outside of that world, and I deliver 10 times more value than I ever did. I never fit within the confines of a 9 to 5. Right? My brain, my value was too great for these companies to fully take advantage of it. And so, here we are. And that was a blessing, right? Because I didn't want to lose my jobs, right? But these blessing in disguise, right? By losing my job, I was forced to figure out the thing that I was truly built to do, right? To be an entrepreneur and then to help other entrepreneurs, right? I was built for this. But I would have never been able to do this if the situation didn't arise where my job was lost. If I never lost my job, I'd still be at my job. And if I was still at my job, I would have no desires to help anybody else become an entrepreneur. Because why? I wasn't. I would be a hypocrite. I couldn't tell you to be an entrepreneur when I'm a full-time employee. So here I am doing what it is that I was built to do. And so I hope you find the inspiration to build what it is that you know you can build. I hope that you have the inspiration to do what it is that you were built to do. I hope you have the inspiration to do it versus being in a situation where you're desperate. So it's not a desperation situation, but an inspiration situation. I had to build out of desperation. I didn't have any other options. I had to be an entrepreneur. But luckily for me, I was smart enough to realize that having a job was risky and that I could lose my job, and that in the states that I worked at, it was an at-will employer, meaning they can employ me at will and they can also tell me to take a hike anytime they want. And with that risk in mind, me knowing that, I said, I got to make sure I'm prepared. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Imagine if I had to develop all the skills that I needed in order to build a business while not having any income. I would be stressed out of my mind. But I learned all the skills that I needed, or I don't want to say all because I'm still learning today, but I learned so many skills while at work so that when I lost my job, I was ready. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, right? You don't want to have to learn these skills out of desperation, right? I was able to create the business after losing the job, but luckily I was prepared. So I want you guys, if you're interested in creating your own businesses, if you're interested in doing any of that kind of stuff, that you better learn it the right way. Learn it, all the details, A to Z, granular level. Okay? Don't be a surface level learner. Don't just go on YouTube and be like, okay, I got it. No, test it. Test the theory. Talk to somebody who knows it. Talk to them and see if what you think is the process is actually the process, because you might be surprised that it's not. But hey, we all got to go through our own personal journey, whatever that journey is. I just hope you guys have a great one and stop trying to shove yourselves in a box where you don't fit. Stop trying to force yourself because everybody else says that's what you're supposed to do. Don't let people tell you what you're supposed to do. There's so many options in the world that you don't know about and they don't know about. Go out there and explore. Be smart about it. And have a great day. That's it, y'all. All right. Hopefully y'all like this video. Well, I was going to say peace, but if you did like this video, please share the video. And if you watch this on YouTube, subscribe, like it, all that good stuff. These videos get to change people's lives, but they don't if nobody watches it. So if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, wherever you're watching this video, please share it so that other people can be impacted the way you've been. Okay, y'all. This time for real. Peace.